Welcome to Around the Peninsula. I'm Katusha Corporal Min-Kyu Bae. Imagine going to the gym without any of the equipment you're used to. That's the situation some soldiers are facing in Korea. Army Sergeant Victor Jakes shows us how service members are not letting that stop them from getting in a good workout.
There's nothing unusual about a soldier doing a sit-up, but there is something unique about where he's doing it. This is the gym at Key Resolve 2013, an annual command post exercise in Korea that has soldiers getting creative to get their blood flowing. Some stick with the basics or try something more advanced, but others prefer the just plain insane.
The equipment in there is really mobile, easy to transport. It's nothing you see in a conventional gym, but with an imagination, you can get the job done. I use that bungee cord a lot. I'll attach it to something, and I'll get my arms a good workout.
It's always important. I use it to maintain physically fit, because if your body's not ready, your mind's not ready to do the job. As soldiers, we always have to be combat ready, and that means you have to be in shape to do the work.
Whether they're doing push-ups, going for a run, or just swinging kettlebells, these Key Resolve soldiers are pushing their bodies and their imaginations to be all they can be. I'm Army Sergeant Victor Jakes.
Key Resolve involves over 3,000 U.S. service members and is scheduled to conclude on March 21st. Helicopters face many threats, but one in particular requires special training to overcome. Army Sergeant Toby Wall discovers a training session at Camp Walker that helps all involved beat the heat.
Pilots of the Boeing AH-64 Apache helicopter save lives of ground forces by destroying the enemy. But who saves the crew if the helicopter is in danger? Members of the Camp Walker Fire Department and flight crews from the 4-2 Attack Reconnaissance Battalion trained together to combat a fiery menace. Several of the firefighters hoped that they were up to the challenge.
We have monthly training in theory, but exercises like this are real. And this makes us very confident and capable because we can touch the real helicopter.
Soldiers and firemen trained on how to extract crew members from the helicopters and how to put out fires. The training covered more than just action in the cockpit.
We were just going over fire hazards and hazards things that could potentially cause them harm, and also the air crews being extracted, as far as ammunition loaded, if there was any, where the fuel cells are at, and any other fire hazard that is aboard the aircraft.
After unloading a torrent of water from fire hoses, the firefighters got a chance to reflect on the day's training.
Engine shutdown. I think we were really well prepared. We reacted quickly. We could react quickly because they are familiar with the structure of the bird. We're proud because we saved the lives of the pilot and the bird, which are both precious.
The firefighters left Camp Walker a little wetter, but safer, with the imaginary fire extinguished and training complete. Army Sergeant Toby Wall, Camp Walker, Korea.
The Army began using the Apache helicopter in 1986. In order for the Republic of Korea and U.S. forces to effectively fight together, they must also train together. Katusha Private Kwak Hyo-bin introduces us to an expert who arranges combined training for Republic of Korea Army soldiers.
Soldiers and civilians from Material Support Center Korea are getting their chemical protective gear inspected for proper fit. Chemical equipment repairer Andrew Blue wants to ensure any openings are minimized before their training starts.
Feels good that I could, help them get trained and help them be able to have confidence that they can survive a chemical attack. Well, I feel that, we need to get cooperation between us and the ROCs, and we need to try to cut down some of the boundaries that me not being able to understand them not understanding us, so we can understand the differences between the two decon lines.
Mr. Blue invited Korean soldiers from the Republic of Korea's 19th Chemical Battalion to train at Camp Carroll.
Mr. Blue helped us out here and building decontamination exercise. He wanted to make sure that my soldiers soldiers feel comfortable during exercise here at Camp Carroll. I have no idea how to appreciate his hard work.
He has shared his knowledge with soldiers working with him.
Mr. Blue is my boss. He's got a lot of great experience when it comes to CBRN. I've learned a lot while working with him. I've learned the whole process of setting up decons, going through, getting the training put on the schedule, working with the KNs.
Katusa Private First Class Kwak Kyobin, Camp Carroll, Korea.
Mr. Blue arranges similar combined decontamination training exercises twice a year. How do you train for war with no soldiers, airplanes, or ships? Airman First Class Corinne Jones shows us how training goes high-tech.
Welcome to the Walker Center.
Training is paramount to mission success. The Combined Battle Simulation Center provides theater-wide training while saving money.
Using a battle simulation center saves a tremendous amount of money in transportation and logistics by not moving troops all over the peninsula and by not bringing units from overseas.
Simulated battle ensures ROC and U.S. forces are prepared to respond in an actual combat situation.
We are able to, within the computers, create a virtual battlefield in which all the various forms of warfare are portrayed.
Airman First Class Corinne Jones, Yongsan, Korea.
The ROC JCS is using its new opposing force wargaming facility at Suwon Air Base for the first time this year. The United States Deputy Defense Secretary visits South Korea to discuss the recent threats made by North Korea. Senior Airman James Bueller takes us inside the U.S. Embassy with more.
The Deputy Defense Secretary Ash Carter held a press conference in Seoul, Korea to discuss the latest threats from North Korea.
A key topic of our discussions today was North Korea and its continued pattern of provocative actions. The United States, working with friends and allies around the world, is employing an integrated response to these unacceptable provocations. The North Koreans think this kind of thing is going to get them anywhere. They're mistaken. The only effect it's having is to bring down upon North Korea the opprobrium of the entire world.
Despite recent budgetary cuts, Deputy Carter ensures the progress of the Asia-Pacific theater will not slow down.
For the United States, our commitment to the alliance is part of our Asia-Pacific rebalance, and we will ensure that all the pieces of our defense relationship continue to move forward. And I should say this will occur despite the budgetary pressures in the United States. The Asia-Pacific rebalance is a priority. It's an historic priority. We have the resources to accomplish it. And no matter what happens in the budget debates that go on in the United States, our commitment to the Asia-Pacific rebalance and our commitment to the U.S. ROK alliance will remain firm.
Senior Airman James Bueller, Seoul, Korea.
That will conclude our conference. Thank you.
His stop in Korea was part of Mr. Carter's official visit to the Asia-Pacific region. A tragic attack occurred 3 years ago that stunned the world. Army Sergeant Victor Jakes attends an event to commemorate the fallen.
On March 15, 2013, military leaders from the United States and the Republic of Korea gathered during the Key Resolve training exercise to commemorate the 3rd anniversary of the sinking of the Korean naval vessel, the Cheonan. A surprise torpedo attack from a North Korean submarine sank the ship and killed 46 sailors. The ceremony included a prayer.
Now we ask your comfort and peace for the family and friends of our fallen, and for determination, strength, and wisdom for those of us who remain.
The playing of taps, laying flowers to memorialize the fallen, and remarks from Lieutenant General John D. Johnson.
They were well trained, and they were dedicated to making sure that the Republic of Korea and this alliance were protected from aggression.
Because of their sacrifices, we will continue to honor them and remember them through the ceremonies that we have in honor of the Cheonan ship every single year.
I'm Army Sergeant Victor Jakes.
The ceremony was a reminder that the 46 sailors that died are not forgotten. That was your Around the Peninsula for Thursday, March 21st. From all of us at AFN, Enjoy your evening.